Good morning, everybody, and welcome to My Soul, My Purpose. Do you know in your soul you're fulfilling your purpose? If you don't feel that, then this next 15 minutes is for you. I'm Miss Chrissy D with the PNK Files, preparing you for when life happens. And this is Darlene Turner with VictimToVictory, and together we're the Perspective.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Just a little review, as I always do. We just last week started talking about the soul, and I kind of gave my definition last week, which is kind of our soul is eternal. It's here to learn, gather information, grow, and experience different experiences. And my friend Claire, who joined me last week, she brought in a really good point. Sometimes it's more about discovering what it is not, where we've claimed this identity in our life and peeling off those labels. I am this, I am that, I'm a mother, I'm all these things that we identify ourselves with, and discover that deeper soul. So it was great to have her on the show. And yeah, that's where we're at. Today we're continuing that discussion.
Interesting. One of the things that stuck out for me that Claire said is that she always had trust no matter what. And I realized I didn't have that. Did I lose it, or did I just never have it? But it made me get really conscious as to start thinking about it and starting to learn to trust, listen to myself, trust that I'm doing the right thing. So for me, my soul is what I'm sent here to do. It is my purpose. And a friend of mine says, there's only two things that we can control in this world, and it is our attitude and our effort. And I thought about it, and I'm like, that's actually a really good point. That's something that people can't take away from us, is our attitude and our effort. So if I'm going to give it my all my good attitude and all my effort, I want it to be something that nobody can take away. I want it to be my purpose. So if I use for an example my past life, and for those of you that don't know my story, please go to MissChrissyD.com and check out my story, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I put all of this time, and it was a good thing. I enjoyed it. I put all of this time, 20 years, into raising my family and building this fun business for my husband and for well-to-do people to have fun. And in the end, all of that was taken away. My family was taken away, business was taken away, everything was gone. And I think about it now, was it my sole purpose? No, that's not my soul and my purpose at all. I'm an advocate. People have been trying to get me to be quiet my whole life. I pray to keep my mouth shut, and apparently I can't. So that is my purpose, and I have to sit and trust that I'm an advocate. I'm here to make things better. I'm here to stand up for what's wrong for people that can't.
I love that about you. And just talking about your voice, is that you're just such a beautiful singer as well, and have that beautiful voice. But yeah, it's really came to you having an idea of the difference you wanted to make in the world, and being able to take those steps now into that place of purpose and drive.
And it's something that people can't take away. So when I was fighting for the sex offender registry, another thing my friend always says is there's either joy or a lesson in it. So when I was working on my studio and the business and all of that, was there joy? Absolutely. Was it lasting joy? No, there is nothing left about that. But when I was fighting for the sex offender registry, I gave it my all. I gave it my best attitude, and nobody can ever, ever take that away. Ever. That will be a lasting joy for me, because that's what my purpose is. I'm an advocate. I'm a fighter. That's what I'm here to do. Right?
Yeah, and I think a big little thing in there to mention it is that the first one was kind of more about material possessions, and the second one was more about your heart and your value and what the righting the wrongs, as I think you often put it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think probably and I didn't even realize that. So now I find myself in a job. I work with people that are marginalized, people that have high addiction, people that have huge mental health, they're homeless. And I didn't trust. Like, I came to these jobs thinking it was a job, it's a paycheck. I don't do this job for a paycheck because there's not enough of a paycheck to pay the bills. So I think you have to separate it between I'm not doing this for the paycheck. I'm doing this because this is what I'm supposed to do, right? There's people out there that need that help, and I've got the power to make change, but I had to trust myself. I was always questioning what that sole purpose was. Am I doing it wrong? That was my big fear. Am I doing the wrong thing? Do I have a purpose? Who am I to think I have a purpose and I can make change? Listening to that ego and other people saying, be quiet, who are you? Instead of sitting and trusting and going out and doing what I have that power to do.
Yeah, and I'm, so many are probably so grateful for you in their life that create that change on an individual level, but as well as that larger scale of creating that change to bring equality to everybody, to all of humanity, and every life matters. And I think that's what's special about you. It's like you don't just like, oh well, they don't matter. You really care at a heart level.
And everybody has their own purpose. This is just my purpose. I've been apparently, I now know I've been given a big mouth for a reason. I used to pray to keep it quiet, but it just didn't happen. So now I have to trust it's here for a reason. But everybody's purpose is different. But I think one important thing to bring in is our purpose I don't think that our soul and our purpose is here to feel bad or to feel guilty or to feel wrong or to feel shame. So if we're doing things trying to prove something or we're feeling bad about it, I think that's almost a sign of you're not connected with your soul purpose.
That's a really good point. A lot of people have that obligation, or it's just like, well, I have to do this, or something like that. And so it's like you say, it's almost same as showing up just for the paycheck, right? I can share a little bit about my purpose through my life, and I think it's been an ever discovery of more of my soul is my purpose. It's a discovery of more of who I am, because I started out pretty young, helping seniors and being in that care aide position. And I felt on purpose. I felt like, man, when I met other care aides, I'm just like, wow, these are my people. These are like my soulmates, and, and really excited about other people on that same purpose. And it was super fulfilling. And I was in that state of joy and that, but it just seemed to come to an end. There was just like, okay, this experience is kind of done. And I really had that clarity through my physical body, through everything was telling me that there's something else for me. And so having to trust that and walk away actually from a really good position with interior health, and just trust that, okay, I'm supposed to leave this and step into this second phase of my life, which I think a lot of people go through, is that middle-aged phase where they recognize themselves doing this, and all of a sudden it's like that doesn't feel right anymore, or there's something more that's showing to them. So that's kind of how it unfolded for me. And I went into the course on equine therapy. I'm an actual was a 2-year course. So I'm a horse therapist. and, and I really thought, okay, now this is my new purpose. I'm working with animals. And when I got done with that, it was kind of like, well, where's all the flow with this new purpose? And and nothing seemed to really catch or happen. And so then people just kept showing up for me to work with. And so I realized that, well, that course was super valuable. It really expanded how I thought. It expanded my tools in my tool belt and my gifts and everything. So it did have a purpose, but it wasn't necessarily the end of that road, right? So after that, it really became more of a self-discovery. And, there was the past 4 or 5 years has really been almost in a state of confusion, just and discovery at the same time, chaos, trying to get to that place where, oh, this is my new landing. This is where I feel that flow. I feel that melding. I think what happens is that beingness with the doingness. And so I'm finally here in this place. And I think for me, the purpose is to help others get out of their ego, that place where they feel that shame, that guilt, and the beliefs and all that icky stuff that we're told is who we are, and help them really step into their most powerful self, their soul calling, and what makes them sing, and to be in that state of joy and enjoy life again. And so I think that's where I've landed.
Yeah, because it's the journey, not the destination. And yes, we have lessons along the way, right? It's either joy or it's a lesson, and it's going to take us to where we need to go. It's not something that's wrong. It's just we're learning along the way, and hopefully that will help us learn to trust. Like I really had to learn to not just trust, but I guess believe in myself that I am that person to do this.
Yeah, I love that, because it is a state of confidence that we reach, in a state of knowingness, so that we can actually help others from that place, because we've done the work and we've landed. And same for you with the work you do. It's almost like you had to do such a drastic fall down to the bottom and be in that place of homelessness to really have that compassion and that understanding of where these people are at, and be able to help them see what you've done with your life and where you've made it, so that they can also step into that for themselves.
Absolutely. I've always had compassion, but now I've got that empathy. I've walked in their shoes, and I know. So I know that there's hope for these people. And yeah, so that probably takes us to our tips. And the first one is really sit with yourself, really be conscious and think, am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Am I connected to my soul? Do I going through every day, going to work like so many people on that wheel, coming home exhausted, emotionally drained, and don't even realize that you're not actually doing what's going to make your soul happy? So
And
that
you
would
get
be
caught on that wheel too, of survival. It's like paycheck to paycheck. So how can I do my soul purpose if I just barely surviving here, right? So I think that's a part of that trust, when we actually step more into trusting that the universe has got our back, that we have that support beyond what our physical mind can think. Because I think the soul purpose, we really have to get out of our mind in that one and really come from the heart and in that place of trust.
Yes. And that's our tip too, is trust. And trust can mean a whole bunch of things. So for myself, I didn't trust that I had that kind of power in me, because I'm always being told, since I can remember, from outside people, to be quiet. Who do you think you are? What do you know? Instead of, my soul is powerful and I'm an advocate, which is why I've been given this. And of course, people don't want me out there speaking. because that changes things, and people don't like change because their life might be going the way they want it. So I had to really trust that, wow, have I been given this big, important soul to get out there and have a purpose and make a difference? And what if I'm doing it wrong? Doesn't matter. Trust that that's what it is and start taking steps forward on that journey.
I'll add a little bit to that one. Trust for me was really a force inside of me saying, there's no to this. You need to, no matter how much I resisted or whatever, it continually pushed, whether it was my physical body breaking down or whatever, my life falling apart, it continually pushed me forward to evolve, to grow, to learn, to step more into who I am. So our tip 3 is nurture our purpose and not listen to that ego and that critical part of our brain that says, well, who are you to do this? Like Chrissy was saying, or, you know, you don't know enough about this, or whatever it is, that's the garbage in the mind, because that's the mind, or that's other people's beliefs. That's all those things that you've been told throughout your life. And that's not who you are. That's not at the heart of your soul of who you are. And you have to trust your own guidance, because nobody knows your soul purpose. We're all different. We're all at different stages. I can't say anybody's right or wrong, you know, like there is no right or wrong. It
Yes.
really leads us back to that path. No matter how much we stray this way or that way, we're always going to get led back to what it is that our soul is and our purpose.
Yeah, so don't let other people's judgments stop you from doing what you need to do. If I'd have learned that before, I could have shaved 25 years of pain and nightmare off. So thanks everybody for joining us. Come and join us every Sunday for the new perspective on trauma, abuse, chronic pain, and the steps to a healthy and thriving life. And we will see you all next week.
Bye, everyone. Have a great week.